maintain safety for lawmakers and people at the Capitol. Plus, the Vikings will be without one of their quarterbacks for the rest of the season now. We're talking about that with Ahmad Hicks, about the team's quarterback situation and all things Vikings coming up.
Let's start, though, with Chief Meteorologist Ian Leonard with your weather on the nines. Ian, quite a bit of rain in some places.
Yeah, do you really want to start with me?
Yeah, it's a nice thing to do. Just being polite.
Oh, you guys are so nice to me.
We're holding the door for you.
Well, we have a few comments for you about today.
Oh, okay.
We decided to keep them to ourselves.
I'm just going to get a pen. Hold on. I want to write these all down. Your comments are very important. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
You just take it. It's just, you know, it was a day that made you feel kind of bad about things.
Yeah, you just walked around going, no, 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 no. Yes, 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 yes. Look, this is a one-day, this is a speed bump, a one-day fly in the ointment. High temperatures today, certainly not that high. 40s into the low 50s. And you notice this wind here screaming out of the north. That's a cool wind as we work through this evening and into tomorrow morning. But the rain is pretty much finished. There's a few sprinkles around, mainly cloudy sky. This is White Bear Lake, 52 degrees with that wind out of the northeast. Now, let's set the stage here as we move forward. After a rainy, cool and gray day today, we're clearing somewhat cool into the day tomorrow and then quiet and cool as we work on into the weekend. I think at this point, most folks are going, what about Halloween and what about Hurricane Melissa? We don't care about what's going on here. So we'll talk about all of that here gently over the next hour.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Ian. Well, happening right now, Minneapolis teachers are rallying outside district headquarters, calling for better wages and smaller class sizes.
The rally comes less than 24 hours after they voted to authorize a strike. Fox 9's Mike Manzoni is live at that rally tonight. Mike, we can hear them, we can see them. Both sides say there's still a chance to avoid a strike, though.
And Simona Kelsey, that is why both sides plan to meet again at the end of the week, just 2 days from now. Teachers out here rallying want higher wages, smaller class sizes, and caseload caps for special education staffers, among other requests. They started rallying here within the last 30 minutes or so. Many of the signs they're holding, you can see, have to do with smaller class sizes and staffing. Even though the district faces a $75 million budget shortfall, the union says the district can in fact pay for its demands if it prioritizes where it spends its money. We just spoke with the lead negotiator for teachers, and she says neither side is giving up.
Well, we are absolutely hoping to avoid a strike. The last thing we want to do is interrupt our students' learning. We want the families of Minneapolis to know we're here showing up to get the things that they need and to show the district that we've got a powerful, strong union, strong educators behind us ready to go.
And the district sent us a statement today saying, quote, Minneapolis Public Schools understands that the Minneapolis Federation of Educators union members passed a strike vote. However, MFE, that's the union, has not yet filed an intent to strike. The district remains hopeful that a student-centered and fair agreement can be reached and looks forward to the next scheduled bargaining session on Thursday, October 30th. That's October 30th, I should say. That's the next session that I had mentioned. Both sides do hope to reach an agreement at that point to avert a strike. If they don't, the union will have 10 days to give the district notice before that strike actually begins. We'll, of course, continue to follow things and tell you how they progress. For now, we're live in Minneapolis. Mike Manzoni, Fox 9.
Yeah, hopefully they can come to some agreement. Thank you, Mike. Well, something else causing controversy on both sides here. The latest on the government shutdown. We are in day 28 at this point. So today, the Senate failed to pass a Republican-backed funding bill for the 13th time. Once again, no Democrats voted in favor of this bill. This afternoon, Vice President J.D. Vance said military members will be paid Friday, but didn't provide details. Air traffic controllers have now missed their first paycheck since the start of the shutdown. And although they are not getting paid, they are still required to work during the shutdown because they are considered essential workers. Across the country, they took to airports to push travelers to help to end this political gridlock. Fox 9's Rob Olson is live tonight at MSP International, where the leafletting campaign just continues tonight. So, Rob, this is a union-organized effort, and it's decidedly non-political. So if that's the case, then what is their message tonight?
Well, their message is pretty simple. This is the leaflet. End the government shutdown immediately. It says protect the U.S. economy and protect aviation safety professionals here, and just basically get this done. And this is what you're seeing here at airports across the country today. And you saw this again all throughout the day, and starting here at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It'll be going into the evening. We've got some video here of some of the earlier efforts here as they're approaching travelers as they come into the airport with this leaflet with directions on the back on how to contact their congresspeople or their senators to send a message to get back to the negotiating table. As you said, non-political. They're not taking sides of one party or the other. They're simply taking the side of today is their first $0 paycheck. They're working overtime. They're no longer getting paid, and they want this thing to come to an end, and they want both sides to get back to the table and get it done.
Yeah, Rob, we are seeing kind of the domino effect here. There has been an uptick in delays in other airports across the country. Some of this, of course, attributed to the lack of controllers that they have right now because they just aren't coming to work. Are we seeing this kind of impact where you are at MSP?
Well, they say no, not yet. I mean, flight delays here have been pretty much normal, and the controllers say they haven't seen that sort of impact on their end here. But yes, we are seeing that in other airports. The Transportation Secretary today noting that there's been an uptick in those delays in the last several days and an uptick in absences of controllers. Here they say the message is, again, no pay. They want to get it done, and they feel like they are very much caught in the middle.
Yeah, we're definitely pawns in the system, and we just believe that we deserve to be paid for the work that we're doing, and we shouldn't be used in the middle. I mean, we can see it what's happening, that they're using us as pawns.
Again, this effort today by the National Air Traffic Controllers Association. The controllers here said they are seeing support like they did in the previous shutdowns from pilots and flight attendants from airlines bringing them food. But again, now looking for the support of travelers to put pressure on legislators. Back to you.
Yeah, doing what they can. Rob Olson reporting live from MSP tonight. Thank you, Rob.
Well, Minnesota's Attorney General Keith Ellison is leading a lawsuit now against the USDA for suspending benefits for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, during this government shutdown. Ellison, with 22 other attorneys general and 3 governors, are seeking a temporary order to keep SNAP funds flowing. The USDA claims insufficient funds. Ellison says that they have billions in contingency funds appropriated by Congress. If SNAP benefits are suspended on November 1st, it will impact 42 million Americans, 440,000 of whom are in Minnesota, and that includes 180,000 children and 67,000 seniors. Threats at the Minnesota Capitol have more than doubled this year, and an assassin targeted state Democrats 4 months ago, so security upgrades have been a high priority. Fox 9's Corin Hoggard is live at the Capitol tonight. So, Corin, we know that some changes have already been in the works. Go ahead and just give us an update on where things stand.
Kelsey, first I'll tell you, I noted an open door back in August. They have fixed that. They're also now, State Patrol is adding 20 officers, and they're training them right now to work as Capitol security. In addition to that, they're going to train one person to work specifically as a threats investigator.
And the reason for that is what we've talked about in past committee hearings is the rise in threats to many on this Capitol complex. And just to put that in perspective, in 2024, we looked at and investigated 19 threats in 2024. Up to this point in 2025, there have been 50 that we've moved forward with.
So that's 50 threats in less than 10 months. They're actually on pace to triple the number of threats from 2024. And that does not even count the gunman who assassinated Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and also shot Senator John Hoffman. Once that happened back in June, the Capitol Security Committee has met every month, and they're trying to find some solutions here.
So, Corin, you've reported before that Minnesota's Capitol is one of the most open centers in government across the country. Is that something that they might decide to change? What are you seeing and hearing?
Definitely consideration. You know, Minnesota is one of 16 states that allows guns inside of their Capitol buildings. It's one of 13 states that does not require folks to walk through metal detectors to get through these doors. Doing metal detectors at the Capitol complex might be very expensive, though, because, you know, there are 8 buildings that are connected by tunnels here at the Capitol complex, and so you might have to put officers and machines to do metal detecting at every one of those buildings. And as far as gun control here, you know, Republicans say that's a non-starter for them. They do not want bans on guns here at the Capitol. Anyway, that Capitol Security Committee, it's a bipartisan committee. They're going to come up with some recommendations for the legislature to vote on when they come back in February, but those are going to have to be bipartisan solutions.
All right, Corn Hoggard live tonight at the state capitol. Thanks.
Today, Target corporate employees learned whether they were among the more than 800 being laid off by the company. Last week, Target announced the layoffs were coming, along with the elimination of 800 open positions. Target says it's part of a restructuring plan. More than 500 of the positions are from the Minneapolis campus and nearly 300 from the Brooklyn Park office. They'll receive pay and benefits through January 3rd and will get severance packages.
All right, we want to get you up to date on Hurricane Melissa right now, making landfall in Jamaica this afternoon as a Category 5 storm. It is the strongest storm to hit this island in more than 170 years. So we're talking about landslides, fallen trees, power outages widespread were all reported as soon as Melissa started coming ashore. The storm already blamed for 7 deaths in the Caribbean, including 3 in Jamaica, 3 in Haiti, and 1 in the Dominican Republic, where another person remains missing. Now, Ian has been tracking Melissa for the last couple of days, and we're going to have a live report from Jamaica as well later in this hour. And I know, Ian, we were talking about this extensively last night as it was approaching the island nation, and now today it is moving ashore.
Yeah, about 1 p.m. today, the front bands of the eye wall, the outer eye wall, started to make landfall. Landfall at around 1:30 our time this afternoon. Notice, and you'll look here, I'm going to reset the loop. I want you to look right here. There's the eye, and it came right when last night I was talking about Black River, and it is just off to the east of that location. That would mean, you know, when we talk about landfalling hurricanes, we quadrant the overall flow in its direction. The right front quadrant here is where we'll find the biggest storm surge, the strongest winds, and the possibility of tornadic-like spin-ups. This has been all about the wind. This is going into the record books now as the strongest landfalling hurricane in 90 years for the Atlantic Basin. Landfalling winds at 185 miles per hour, 1,000 feet above the ground. Those winds were 255 miles per hour. Interesting of note, a lot of these mountains here are between 1,000 and 3,000 feet. So that really came into play. Now we're talking about the core of the storm moving itself here back over open water in the next hour. Now it takes sites here on parts of eastern Cuba, and from eastern Cuba we move forward with this massive, powerful, still Cat 4 storm working into here, the parts of the Bahamas, and then north all the way to Bermuda. So this is something that is going to change the landscape of the tiny island nation of Jamaica for probably a generation when we talk about the infrastructure that wasn't there to begin with and what will be left with daylight tomorrow. Don't want to overstate, but it's a landfalling Category 5 hurricane on a very small island. We'll, of course, talk more about this. Our friend from Fox Weather, Robert Ray, is down there right in the thick of it. It has been one heck of a day for everybody in Jamaica, and for us, it's all about our prayers going out to them.
Just so many limited options for people to leave.
Yeah, such a popular vacation spot, but mainly, you know, you think about the people living there and the infrastructure.
All right, thanks, Ian. All right, next man up, that has pretty much been the Vikings this season, and now with Carson Wentz on IR, the next man is returning from an injury of his own.
Our Ahmad Hicks will talk about Carson Wentz's season-ending injury and J.J. McCarthy's return as the Purple prepare to face Detroit.